Okay, here we go. Welcome to the Space Limited Accomplishments Interval. I'm Lance Ash. This is Bonnie Ash.
Oh God, we're doing this again.
Yep. And
Are we doing it next week?
no. Next week I'll be on vacation, so we won't be in the car, so there won't be any need to do this. But to console you, I've started a new series of videos, an audio book of a book I wrote several years ago.
Oh, thank God! I feel so consoled.
Yeah, it's the best book I ever wrote, and certainly the
Gas Giants.
Certainly the biggest book I ever wrote. It's called At Home with the Gas Giants.
That's also known as me getting used to being married. Married to you. Sorry, that was a pretty lame joke.
Well, anyway, so I started that yesterday, but I have a little follow-up to last week's show. Okay, last week's show was Mother's Day evening, and Bonnie seemed a little bit... I listened to the show back last night after I posted it, and I realized she seemed a little quiet whenever I spoke about Mother's Day. And so it turns out that I had forgotten to give her the Mother's Day card that I picked out.
No. You need to explain how you picked it out.
Okay, I don't have money.
Yes, you
and
do.
I can't drive. So
No, you can't.
I'm not able to go to the store independently. So Bonnie picked out a whole bunch of cards and said, pick one out for your mother, pick one out for your mother-in-law, pick one out for me. Okay. So I did. And I wrote it, but then when Mother's Day actually was here, apparently I forgot to give it to her. So
apparently? Oh, you did.
So Sunday night, drive all the way to work. I get out of the car to walk into the building, and Bonnie says, "Oh, by the way, why didn't you get me a Mother's Day card?" And I thought she said anniversary card, so I was a little confused. Like, well, you got a present and everything. I don't know what the deal is. So I'm angry and worried and upset, and for hours at work, just pissed. Get in the car, and she says, "We're trying to hash this out." And she's like, "No, Mother's Day card." And I'm like, "Well, I don't understand. I picked out a Mother's Day card." What? Get home, go in my room, go to my desk, move some papers, and there's the damn card. Filled out and everything with a sweet little note inside of it.
Very sweet little note.
And I walk into the kitchen and I go, "Here it is. I just forgot to give it to you." So all this emotional upheaval for nothing. Oh my God. So,
well, for me, it made it kind of all the sweeter because it kind of, underscores what all you've been through with your brain tumors and your surgeries and your seizures and all that. And, a 9-inch scar across the top of your head, Frankenstein style. And just kind of reminded me that we're just in this boat together, and you poor thing. No wonder you forget.
Yeah. Eventful week. Eventful last couple of days. My friend Mitch, that I've known since I was 8, his birthday was
Thursday?
The 13th. And I forgot all about it.
So did I, and it's on my calendar.
Until he told me that his mother forgot about it. Of course, his mother has early stage dementia. So, anyway, there was that. So I found Bonnie found some old photographs, and I sent them to him in an email from stuff like when we were 17. And the other thing is Saturday, the 15th, was my sobriety anniversary. I've got 18 years without a drink now. And the 11th was mine and Bonnie's 26th wedding anniversary.
Oh, God.
Plus my sister's birthday was the 7th.
She's got a kid that was born sometime in May, too.
Yeah.
I don't keep up with that end of the family.
I found a bracelet with my niece's initial on it. I was going to send it to her for birthday, but I just It slipped my mind. Plus, it's a little bit. It's like the shape of it is something you'd send to a girlfriend or a sweetheart, so it might be inappropriate. Except here in the deep south, you know.
What was the
There's a quote from the novel Goldfinger, where Pussy Galore tells Bond she was raised in Appalachia, and in Appalachia the definition of a virgin is a girl who can run faster than her uncle.
Jesus.
So, anyway, eventful weekend though. Got some good painting done, drawing. What else happened this weekend?
I did a lot of chores. I worked out in the yard. I worked on the back porch. I hit thrift stores. Yay! It's liberating. The mask mandate was lifted. I'm fully vaccinated, but I still wear mask based on the area that I'm at and the crowds and the requirements of the business, because they have a right to require no shoes, no shirt, no mask, no service. But
also we've reached a point where if you don't wear a mask now, you seem to be presenting yourself as part of the MAGA crowd.
Oh, that is a problem. Yeah, I don't want to.
They're one of us.
Yet. I wanted to have a sign, like a little name tag that says "Fully Vaxxed against COVID-19," and then in small print write "and diphtheria and tetanus and pertussis and yellow fever and typhoid," and all the other things that I've been.
Yeah, you could have a T-shirt that says, "I may not be wearing a mask, but that doesn't mean I'm MAGA. I'm not one of your idiots."
But I thought the bottom of the little thing would have in equally large letters as the "Fully Vaxxed against COVID-19." Underneath it would go, "But there is no vaccination against ignorance."
No, but I mean...
I just wanted to make a statement, but, I wouldn't actually do that because down here, you get shot.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, mercy me. Let's see what else happened. Why don't we have some topic we can discuss?
What would that be?
Well, I'll tell you, I have a sort of suggestion.
What?
I've been watching a lot of these interviews, the Academy of American Television or whatever, and they have a really long multi-part interview with Jerry Stiller and all his big career.
Oh,
and
Stiller's dad. Yeah,
right, and
Seinfeld.
Yeah, and I watched a little bit of a couple of interviews with Marlo Thomas talking about that girl.
Oh.
And
Is she the one that married Phil Donahue?
Yes.
And Danny Thomas's daughter.
Right.
And the fundraiser for St. Jude's.
Yeah. Well, her father was a big fundraiser for all that shit.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you a story connected with that girl. I've only seen the beginning of the show twice, of 2 different episodes. I've never seen a whole episode. But when I was a kid, cable wasn't available in our area. So when we went on vacation as a family, instead of a hotel, they had cable in the room. And this made my father very excited because cable would show old movies.
Your father still gets excited about old movies on cable.
But they would also have old TV shows that I'd never heard of. So we get in the hotel room one time and flipping channels, and that girl comes on. And my dad goes, "Oh, it's that girl." And I went, "What is that?" He goes, "This is a quote now. This is what he said. Oh, that was a good show. Good, clean show."
Oh my God.
And that, even as a kid, I must have been about 13, 12, 13, that struck me. Who gives a damn? What does that got to, of course it's a clean show. It's from 1969, But anyway, so I thought maybe we could discuss shows that we saw when we were kids, like in syndication, that we weren't alive for when they were actually around. Well, like I Love Lucy. I'm sure you've seen that 1,000 times.
I've seen it really with you. That's the thing.
You didn't grow up watching it?
No.
Really?
No. It was being at my grandmother's for the summer at May's house that meant that we would watch things that we wouldn't normally watch. Night Stalker, fabulous. It came on late on the Macon station, and she loved Night Stalker. It was so cheesy, it was so much fun, and of course when X-Files rolled around, I was like, oh my god, this is so cool. And then, is his name Darren Gavin, the star, was on X-Files in the same sort of role, you know, a Monster of the Week sort of thing. So that one was positive. She watched Kojak, where that was something that we never got to see at home because it was a little too Yankee, a little too cigarette, a little too leering of women kind of.
I remember.
And it was just kind of crass. It wasn't that it wasn't clean, it was just crass.
Well, I remember we never got to see it, and one night it came on.
Kojak.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, this is that show. Let's watch this. And my mother was like, no. Her idea was it was sleazy.
Well, there was something about the way that Kojak dealt with women
Oh, yeah.
that was off-putting to a lot of women, especially any woman who, like my mother, had been single for a while. And so she had to put up with sleazy guys.
Yeah, but that show was around. It was on the air. I mean, I must have been 9 when it was in its heyday. I never saw Starsky and Hutch, ever.
I saw that once I was grown, and there was a movie, and so somebody went out of their way to show me an episode, and I was like, Huggy Bear? Really? It was lame, and it was just guys in fast cars.
You look at it today, and it's so cheap compared to what they do today.
Yeah, but then again, so was Rockford Files. And that right there was...
Well, the difference is Rockford Files was funny.
It was funny. It was very funny.
But I was trying to think of something like, I never saw the Dick Van Dyke Show until I was grown.
You showed that to me, and you showed it to me after we saw an X-Files episode where Scully and Mulder took on the names of Rob and Laura Petrie. I'm like, what's that? Because you were laughing.
Yeah, when I was about, I don't know, 7th, 8th grade, there became this vogue for all these shows like Leave It to Beaver and stuff.
Really?
Yeah, and I had never seen the show.
What I remember as a vogue when we were in school were miniseries, and some of them were just trashy.
Yeah, when I was in 6th grade, Shogun was out, and I used to sit next to these 2 girls in class, in homeroom, and we would talk. Oh, last night it ended with them about to do it. I think they're going to do it. They're going to do it. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my, and
I'll try to get gas up in Atlanta.
Okay. Sometime around 8th or 9th grade, I think it was Winds of War was out, and Jan Michael Vincent and Ally McGraw.
Oh my god.
They were.
Woo.
It was there was them in bed, and they were just barely covered by this wadded up, sweat-soaked sheet.
And doing what we call grinding these days.
And they both aged so badly. God damn. Both became alcoholics. Oh, speaking of Ally McGraw, I was going through these little...
Was there a hotel miniseries?
Yeah, but I never saw that. That was...
James Brolin?
Well, that was the TV show. They made a TV show out of it later. I don't know who was in the miniseries. I found a picture that I'd cut... No. It was a picture of Miles Davis whispering something into Steve McQueen's ear, and Steve McQueen smiling like, yeah. You can't imagine those 2 people talking to each other. But, yeah, I've seen every episode of I Love Lucy. That was just such a cute show. I once would tell people my ideal of what it means to be a man is a cross between Steve Marriott and William Frawley, who played.
Who's Steve Marriott?
Steve Marriott was the singer for Humble Pie.
Oh, good God.
And
Frawley was
William Frawley was Fred on the show.
Oh.
Oh. And in real life, they hated each other.
Let's just not start dressing like him.
Oh, except for those high waist
My
pants.
husband dressed like that.
Really?
Oh my God. It was a cross between that and the old mafia guy in Miami from The Godfather.
Oh, Hyman Roth.
Yeah. The funny thing was, after he died, Mama would alter his clothes and wear them around the house on her big bosom.
Oh, such a cute show. And people were so upset when they found out that those four people didn't really like each other.
Now, Lucy and Ricky liked each other.
Lucy and Desi,
sorry.
they stayed friends after they got divorced.
They would talk every day, wouldn't they?
Yeah. But, what's her name? Vivian Vance and William Frawley didn't like each other at all. And Lucy and Vivian Vance were friends, and Desi and William Frawley were friends. But that was about the extent of it. Oh, and I hated her subsequent television shows where she was on her own. Just, horrible. As her voice became more and more cracked from chain smoking, she just became such a monster. Poor Desi Arnaz. He was so charming and good looking and smart and funny, and just alcohol ate him up. Ooh, ran over something in the road just then.
Exactly.
I'm trying to think of something else. But I'm specifically talking about TV shows that I watched in syndication that I didn't watch when they were...
Gilligan's Island.
Gilligan's Island's a prime example.
One of the lamest shows ever. If you
horrible.
Watch 3 episodes, you've watched the entire series.
Exactly.
I mean, it was a play on the same thing nearly every time. Who's more beautiful? Who's more intelligent? Who's more whatever?
Well, more than that,
how dumb is?
a celebrity fell out of the sky and landed on our island and left without telling the world that we're here.
I didn't follow it enough to know that even happened. Speaking of Bob, what was his name in that show?
Bob Denver.
He had another thing that I saw 2 or 3 episodes of, Dobie Gillis, and I thought that was the dumbest thing ever. I mean, right up there with Gilligan's Island.
All those shows sucked. Have you ever? I'll tell you one I saw maybe 7 episodes of. Have you ever seen The Real McCoys?
I don't know what that is.
Richard Crenna.
I know who he
is the older brother of this little family without a mother. They're not.
Is it one of those Western things?
No, they weren't quite rednecks or hillbillies.
Was it based on the Hatfield McCoys?
No, it's based on the phrase "the real McCoy." That's all.
Yeah, that was based on a boxer, wasn't it?
I don't know, but what's his name? Walter Brennan was the old grandfather who was always getting into trouble, and Richard Crenna was the older brother who was like responsible and tried to do the right thing. I'm trying to think who else was on that stupid show. It was terrible. All those old terrible shows. Oh my God, I've probably seen almost every single episode of the Andy Griffith Show.
Yeah, I watched it after you and I got married when I was so heavily pregnant.
You never saw it before?
No, I didn't. As a matter of fact, I had no idea why it was called the Andy Griffith Show, because he was Andy Taylor, and I told my dad that, and he just died laughing. It's like, it starts the... I know, I didn't even think about it. Yeah.
Don't you think it's odd? Oh, you didn't see the show enough.
But see, early on I thought it was sweet, but the later episodes were just stupid.
As Ron Howard got older and the show became a color program, and he's a teenager going to dances and stuff.
Oh.
It was that they should have. That was it. They should have got rid of the show then.
Do you know what I saw in reruns was Happy Days?
Terrible show.
And I saw Laverne and Shirley in Happy Days, which you like, I think, because you like the girls.
The show turned into retreads. A lot of I Love Lucy episodes had these extended slapstick scenes of Ethel and Lucy, like trying to deal with chocolate on the conveyor belt. A lot of Laverne and Shirley episodes ended with this extended slapstick scene, right taken from that playbook.
Yeah.
But it was cute.
Oh,
in
God.
small doses.
Maymay's house, we would watch Charlie's Angels. We never watched it for whatever reason at home. And so we would get exposed to that, like, on a daily basis for rewinds. Because, it's making Georgia 110 degrees, and there's no air conditioning. You sit in front of a fan and drink tea all day. And so we watched all of those, and I saw every single damn angel there was. Oh my God, those were just terrible shows. And Maymay was so funny because she goes, "Oh, that's John Forsythe. That's who that is. That's the voice of Charlie."
But people talked about, people tune in to watch the three women, how beautiful they are, and they put them in, sleazy costumes or whatever. You look at it today and you're like, okay, so what? They're not naked. Who cares? It's... Because today you're exposed to nudity on a daily basis.
Yeah.
They were attractive, but they weren't.
It was really funny who they had as not attractive, supposedly, or who was less attractive. And what?
It's got a hand itches.
And it was always Farrah Fawcett, and I always thought Jacqueline Smith was much prettier. I always thought that Kate, what's her name?
Kate
Jackson was much prettier than they made her out to be. I never understood that. And I didn't understand, was it Roberts? Tanya Roberts was on there? I never
The subsequent ones I don't know anything about.
I always thought Cheryl Ladd was more pretty than
Cheryl Ladd?
I think she was on it.
Who? I remember Cheryl Teague's the model, but Cheryl Ladd, who the hell would...
She was one of these long hair blondes. I thought she was pretty. I think she replaced her Farrah Fawcett. And it was stupid. But as a young girl, when you're a teenager, you're looking at these things going, okay, that's what I'm supposed to look like. I'm supposed to be this stick thin. I'm supposed to be that tall. I'm supposed to have my hair this way. And sure enough, we would tie off our little shirts. And if we had a button down on, we'd tie it around.
To expose your navel.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, we're running out of time here, but I will add one little thing. I used to love The $6 Million Man, but
You never could see it.
The Bionic Woman was a better show.
What?
And what's her name? Lindsay Wagner, who played the Bionic Woman, was just... She was pretty, but she wasn't slutty. And she had this wonderful sense of style.
Like Jan Smithers.
Yeah, sort of, yeah.
Bailey, whatever.
But, Lindsay Wagner just had this cool look with, the big sunglasses on top of your head and the bell bottoms, the black turtleneck sweater with the
sporty California girl.
Yeah.
Sporty California girl.
Well, anyway, I need to find some pictures of her.
I bet you do.
Just dressed like that with the what do you call it? They would take a scarf or something and tie it around their head.
I thought this joke.
All right, we're out of here. That's the end of the show. Bye-bye.